Hello everyone and welcome to today's Gentle Flow class. I hope that you are feeling wonderful today. So to get started, we're going to come down to lie on our backs. So just making your way down into a really comfortable supine position, just laying on your mat, making sure you have plenty of space all around you to lay out your mat long and move your arms and legs around. So just laying down, nice and comfortable on your back, stretching the legs out long if that feels good. Or if you prefer, you can take the soles of the feet together and open the knees out wide. Whatever feels good here. Perhaps the palms come onto the belly, or they just face up towards the ceiling with the tops of the hands just down by your side on the floor. And just start by noticing your breath. Just beginning to arrive here in your practice, in your body. And as you do so, start to notice your body grow really, really heavy, sinking down into the mat. And notice all of those points of connection between your body and the floor. Perhaps noticing that heaviness of the back of the head, the upper back and the shoulders, the arms and the tops of the hands, if they're down on the mat. Then noticing the heaviness of the hips and the glutes, perhaps the thighs, maybe the calves and the heels if the legs are out long, or maybe just the buttocks and the thighs, and then the ankles and the edges of the feet, if you have the knees out wide and the soles of the feet together. Let yourself really sink into this moment as we begin our practice today. Not thinking about tomorrow or the work that you have to do or the weekend or anything else, just being here present in your body right now for whatever is happening in your body, whether it's that breath, whether it's physical sensations. Maybe there's some things going on mentally or emotionally that start to come up when you give yourself this silence and this stillness. And just paying attention to what arises as we go through our practice today. So perhaps as you lie here, setting that as your intention for our practice today, to just notice and be fully aware of and here for whatever arises mentally, emotionally, or physically in your practice. Perhaps repeating that a few times in your mind to really set that intention and feel it in your body and in your mind. Then when you feel ready, just letting that intention go and starting to notice your breath. Just noticing its rhythm as it moves through the body. And getting ready to start moving. So maybe start to deepen that breath. Breathing long, slow, deep breaths in through the nose. Maybe exhaling out through the mouth if you like, releasing tension all the way through the body, letting go of any tension anywhere at all. Just one more deep breath in through the nose. Long, slow exhale through the mouth. And slowly start to lengthen out your left leg and bring the right knee in towards the chest. So taking the hands around that right knee, maybe just the right hand or both hands if you like, and firstly just pulling it up towards the chest. You can keep it here, or if you would like to, just holding on to that right knee with your right hand, pull it a little closer towards the right armpit, if that feels good. Make sure the spine stays nice and long. We feel the shoulders and the hips relax down, nice and heavy on the mat. Chest is open. And just notice what you can feel in the spine, in the hip on the right side, and in the belly here. Just take one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, take that left hand across onto the outside of the right knee and pull the right knee all the way across the body towards the floor. It doesn't have to pull all the way down to the floor. It can just hang, holding the knee or the outside of the knee in that left hand. And the right hand can start reaching all the way out to the right. If it feels really comfortable for your neck, you can look towards your right fingers or just keep the back of the head nice and heavy on the mat. Just taking a few breaths here, feeling this twist in the spine, noticing what you can feel in the shoulders and the hips. Then just take one more deep breath in. And slowly, as you exhale, just release the lower back onto the mat and lengthen the right leg out. Take a moment to give yourself a wriggle around if you'd like to. Then pull the left knee into the chest. At first, maybe grabbing the knee with both hands, pulling it in towards the chest, just nice and straight. Then if it feels good, and only if it feels good, maybe just let go of the left knee with the right hand, reach the right hand out to the right. And maybe you pull that left knee in a little closer towards the left armpit. Taking a few breaths here, noticing the stretch in the hip on this side. Noticing the spine still nice and long, shoulders relaxed and open. And see if you can feel anything at all in the belly as you stretch here. Try and breathe deeply into the belly. Just taking one more deep breath in. Then as you exhale, take that right hand over to the outside of the left knee and start to pull the left knee over to the right. Reaching the left fingertips over to the left now. And Just letting that right knee pull down towards the mat just as much as it feels comfortable. Not forcing it any further than it needs to go, not allowing that left shoulder to come up off the mat, but just finding a comfortable balance between some sort of effort and relaxation. Each time you exhale, see if you can soften just a little bit more here. And just take one more deep breath in and one more deep breath out. Then slowly make your way all the way back onto your back, softening both hips down, and start to stretch the body nice and long, taking a big stretch, arms reach overhead. Maybe wriggling the hips and the shoulders from side to side here. Then just slowly, in your own time, start to make your way over onto one side, starting to get ready to come up to a comfortable seat, and then make our way into our tabletop pose. So perhaps just coming to a nice comfy seat to start off with, and just taking a few rolls through the shoulders. Good. Just rolling them forwards and backwards a few times. And then when you feel ready, you can just release them down away from the ears and start to take the hands down onto the mat. Hands come under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. We've found our tabletop pose. So from here, we're going to move into our spinal warm-up or cat-cow Bidalasana. Let the belly button drop down towards the mat as you breathe in, lifting the chin and feeling the chest pull forward between the upper arms. As you exhale, press into the palms and really round the upper back up towards the ceiling, tucking the chin into the chest. Deep breath in, lift the chest, lift the chin, almost tilting the sit bones back behind you. Exhale, round the spine. Keep going with your own pace of breath. Just letting this be as fast or slow as you need it to be today. If when you start to get a little warmer, you'd like to pick up the pace, that's absolutely fine, feel free. However, if you'd like to move nice and slowly, gently through the entire cat-cow sequence, or the entire class even, please feel free to just take everything nice and slowly. Treat your body gently and do what you need to do to make this benefit your body, benefit your mind. Good, just one more round of breath here. Deep breath in, pull the chest forward, lift the chin. Exhale, rounding the spine. We press the shoulder blades up towards the ceiling and feel them separate. Slowly come back to your neutral spine. We're going to make our way all the way down onto our belly and onto our chest. So finding that prone position on your mat. Take the hands under the shoulders and we're going to lower the forehead down to start with. Then as you inhale, engaging the upper back muscles, we're going to lift the shoulders, lift the head. Lower down as you exhale. Again, lift the shoulders, lift the head. Exhale to lower down. One more time like this, not pressing into the palms yet. Lifting as you inhale. Exhale, lowering down. Good, then start to press into the palms a little, finding a little cobra. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift, press into the palms. Elbows can stay nice and bent. Exhale to lower down. Very nice. Starting to move the hands forward if you like. Lifting up a little bit higher each time. Exhale to lower down. One more deep breath in. Lift into your big cobra, or as far as you'd like to go with this. Making sure it feels good in the spine. Nothing feels like it's compressing. Everything feels spacious and long. You can lift the chin if it feels good, or keep the gaze just in front of the mat. Take a deep breath in here. Then as you exhale, lowering all the way down. Start to press the hands into the mat under the shoulders. Tuck the toes under and just find a little child's pose. Perhaps the knees are out wide or the knees are together. Whatever feels good here. If you'd like a little bit of a hip stretch or hip opener, knees can be out wide. Sink the hips down towards the hips and reach the arms out in front. Taking 3 deep breaths in and out here. Just enjoying the softening. Next inhalation, let's look forward between the palms and start to make our way back to tabletop. And then bring the knees in under the hips, tuck the toes under, and when you're ready, press the hips high to find your downward facing dog. Let the ears come in line with the biceps as you press the chest back towards your legs, and start to think about all of the fingertips pressing into the mat instead of dumping just into the wrists and letting the fingers lift. Let's really focus on pressing into those fingertips, pressing the space between the thumb and the index finger down into the mat, and then softening the heels. Very good. You can start to pedal out through the feet to soften one heel down to the mat at a time. Breathing deep and tilting the sit bones up towards the ceiling. Good. Just take one more deep breath in here. And one more deep breath out. Sink both heels down, finding stillness in your downward facing dog. As we breathe in, let's start to bend through the knees and gaze forward between the fingertips. As you exhale, let's start to walk the feet all the way forward to the top of the mat or to the hands, and lower the chest all the way down to find a forward fold, Uttanasana. As you inhale, let's find the shins or the thighs with the fingertips or the palms and lift into your halfway lift. See if you can bring the spine up to parallel with the mat and avoid pressing into the knees. Exhale, let's find that forward fold. This time, let's come all the way up, bend through the knees and circle sweep your arms overhead. Palms come together over your head. Exhale, let's fold all the way back down, swan diving the chest down towards the legs. Deep breath in, let's find that halfway lift again. Exhale, let's fold. Plant the hands down here. You can bend through the knees, then step one foot back at a time to find a plank pose. Nice long line from the shoulders all the way down to the heels here. Then let's lower the knees down. Exhale to bend the elbows straight back, lowering the chest and the chin down to the mat. Inhale to pull the chest forward. Find that baby cobra, not pressing into the palms at all. Exhale, let's lower the forehead down. Press into the palms, tuck your toes, and move through your tabletop to find downward facing dog. Very good. Let's do that again. Deep breath in, maybe a little bit faster this time, looking between the palms. Bend the knees. As you exhale, walking the feet all the way forward to the top of the mat, release the chest down. Forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Open the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, fold. All the way up as we breathe in, circle sweeping the arms. Palms come together. Exhale, fold all the way down. Beautiful. Inhale, find that halfway lift. Open the chest, roll the shoulders back. Sit bones are tilting up towards the ceiling. Exhale, let's fold. Plant the hands down, bending through the knees if you need to. Step one foot back at a time to find your plank pose. Very good. Knees lower down, bend the elbows straight back, lower the chest and the chin down. Scoop the chest forward, finding a baby cobra, lifting through the shoulders and the head. Exhale, lower it back down. Press into the palms, tuck the toes. Start to find your downward facing dog. Good job. Taking a few breaths in your downward facing dog. If you need a little break, feel free to find your child's pose at any point. Otherwise, 3 deep breaths in, 3 deep breaths out, tilting the sit bones up and back a little bit more each time you breathe. Softening the heels down towards the mat, maybe straightening the legs a little more as you breathe, as you soften into this pose. If you're finding it really hard to lengthen out through the legs, the heels can be lifted and the knees can be bent. I would rather see you tilt the sit bones high and press the chest back to the legs than have you with the legs long and find you rounded through the chest. So see if you can perhaps press the chest back a little further, and if you need to, bend the knees, lift the heels to help you to really tilt the sit bones high. Well done. Then when you're ready, let's find a 3-legged down dog, lifting the right leg high as you breathe in. Very good. Keeping the hips squared towards the mat, let's take an exhale, pull the right knee in towards the chest and step it between the palms. Take your time to do this. Let's start to lift up into a high lunge when we're ready. Hands reach overhead. Sink nice and low into that right knee. Fingertips reach high as we breathe in. And sink a little down, a little further down as you breathe out. Let's breathe in one more time. Straighten that front leg. Then as you exhale, bend into the front knee as you peel the left heel down. Find warrior 2. Reach the fingertips away from the midline. Really bend deeply into that front knee, making sure that the knee isn't overshooting the toes. Gaze is along our right fingertips or front fingertips. Then start to flip the palm and take it all the way up towards the ceiling, finding reverse warrior. Keep the bend in the front knee. Very good. Then as you exhale, right elbow comes down onto the right knee, finding extended side angle. Reach the left hand all the way overhead, finding a really nice long diagonal line from the fingertips on the left hand to the left ankle. That right knee is bending deep. You should feel a nice opening through the right hip. Good. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let's find that reverse warrior again as we inhale. Right hand reaches high, left fingertips run down the back leg. Keep the bend in the right knee. As you exhale, let's cartwheel both hands down, framing that front foot. Lift the back heel as the hips start to face forward towards the front of the mat or the top of the mat. From here, let's plant the hands down and step the right foot back, finding our plank pose. Lower the knees down. Exhale to bend the elbows straight back. Lower the chin and the chest. Inhale to scoop the chest forward, lower the belly down, lift the shoulders. Exhale, lower down. Pressing into the palms, tuck the toes. Start to find your downward facing dog, moving through tabletop if you need to. Well done. Let's find the other side. Take a deep breath in. Left leg lifts high this time. Finding your three-legged down dog, hips stay squared towards the mat. Exhale, left knee pulls into the chest. Step the foot directly between the palms, making sure that that left knee is directly over your left ankle. Then lift the fingertips up off the mat, finding your high lunge. Sink into the left knee as you lower the hips a little lower. Relax the shoulders. Let's take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Soften the shoulders even more. Good. Let's inhale, lift and lengthen through that front leg. Then as you exhale, bend through the front knee as you peel the back heel down. Finding warrior two, reach the fingertips again away from the midline. You might almost feel like you're trying to press the mat or pull the mat apart with your feet. Front foot presses away forward, back foot presses away behind you, feeling like you're trying to tear the mat apart. That left heel intercepts the arch of the right foot. Let's take a deep breath in. Flip the front palm. Take it up towards the ceiling as the left or the right fingertips, run down that back leg. Keep the bend in the front knee as you gaze up towards the ceiling. Then exhale, left elbow comes down onto that front knee. Reach the right hand all the way overhead, finding again that really nice long diagonal line, or if it feels a little better, just reach it all the way up towards the ceiling. Top shoulder stays open instead of dropping down towards the mat here. Deep bend in that left knee. When we're ready, let's come back to our reverse warrior. Lift the left hand, lower the right hand down the back leg. Deep bend stays in the front knee. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, framing your left foot. Pick up the right heel. Then planting the hands down, let's find our plank pose. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Good. Lower the knees down. Let's bend the elbows straight back and lower the chest and the chin down. Inhale to pull the chest forward, lower the hips down, lift the head, lift the shoulders. Exhale, lower down. Press into the palms, tucking the toes. Find your downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. If you need a little break, again, feel free to find your child's pose at any time. If you're here in downward facing dog, just tilting the sit bones high again here. Noticing if perhaps you're finding a roundedness through the spine and starting to really focus on pressing the chest back, feeling that lengthening through the backs of the legs, or maybe focusing on bending the knees and lifting the heels so that you can tilt the sit bones high. And when you're ready, we'll take a deep breath in. Right leg lifts high. Find your three-legged down dog. From here, let's lift that right hip. Let it open and bend the right knee, taking the heel down towards your buttocks. Just feel this opening here, pressing into both hands still. Then inhale, take it all the way back along with the right foot. Square the hips to face towards the mat again, finding three-legged down dog. And as you exhale, pull the right knee all the way forward, down to the mat, just behind your right wrist. Good. From here, pull the ankle forward a little bit so that you can slide the left foot back and lower the hips down. The further forward that you pull that right ankle, the deeper the stretch is going to be through that right glute. So feel free to take it right in towards the midline and have the hips a little lifted if you need to. Otherwise, you can pull it further forward as you soften, or if you're a little bit more open through the hips. Take a deep breath in here, maybe taking a little check back towards those left toes to make sure that they're not sickling in towards the midline. and instead that they're facing out long behind you. Then from here, you can allow the chest to come down onto the mat, walking the hands forward or maybe coming onto the forearms, and then lowering the forehead down. Just letting yourself breathe here and trying to really make sure that the hips are even instead of dropping over to one side. Usually you'll drop over to whichever side the leg is forward on. So if I was trying to make this a little bit easier for myself without noticing, I might start to roll over onto this right side and open out to the left. So if you can, make sure the hips are really nice and evenly pressing down towards the mat, even if it means you're not folding as far forward. So let's just take 5 deep breaths in here and 5 deep breaths out. Noticing whatever is coming up in your body or in your mind as you find this stillness. Then after your 5th breath, start to take the palms back down onto the mat if you had lowered down onto the forearms. And start walking the hands back in towards the hips. Now from here, we tuck the left toes under and start to lift the left knee up. Press into the palms and start to lift the hips and lift the right knee up to the right elbow. Then step it back to meet the left foot, finding your downward facing dog. Maybe taking a moment to just pedal out the feet, dropping the hip down or opening out through the hip as you lower that heel. Noticing any changes or any differences between the right and left side after completing those stretches on just one side. Then find your downward facing dog and we'll move on to the other side. Left leg lifts high. Find 3-legged down dog as you inhale. Then let the hip open and bend the left knee, bringing the heel towards the buttocks. Good. Pressing into both hands. Then find your 3-legged down dog again, lengthening the left leg, squaring the hips towards the mat. Pulling the left knee forward down to the mat just behind your left wrist. Slide the right leg back, again pulling the ankle forward a little on that left foot if you need to, if you'd like to go a little bit deeper. Untuck those right toes. Find the comfy position that you need to be in. Check the back toes aren't sickling in towards the midline. Make sure you're in a nice comfy spot on your mat. And then when you're feeling ready, feeling square and straight and even through the hips, you can find that forward fold whenever you feel like you're ready to. Of course, staying all the way upright is an option too. So again, once you've found this comfortable position, perhaps you're folding forward or maybe not. Let yourself take 5 deep breaths in and 5 deep breaths out, just sinking and softening into the pose and really becoming aware of all of the thoughts, the emotions and the sensations that come up for you in this pose. Letting yourself soften 100%. Then after your 5th breath, again, taking the palms back onto the mat. Take as long as you need here to start to lift the chest, to start to walk the hands back in towards the hips. And this time, we're going to just slide the hips over to that left side so that we can swing the right leg all the way out in front. And coming into a seated position, scoot yourself forward on your mat a little. And then we're just going to start to come down into a supine position on our mat. Letting yourself lie down. And just take a moment to drop the knees from side to side. Good. Noticing how you're feeling through the hips, in the glutes, in the lower back, mid back, upper back, and into the shoulders. Good. Just one more time on each side, dropping those knees over. Perfect. Then bringing them all the way back to center. And either lengthening those legs out long, maybe again, like we did at the beginning of the class, taking the soles of the feet together and opening the knees out wide. Hands can be on the belly. Or you can even lay on your side. You can find a child's pose, whatever feels comfortable for you right now, as a pose that you can hold for as long as this Shavasana lasts for you, whether you choose to continue your Shavasana after this class. Just allowing yourself to find that most comfortable position that you can possibly be in right now. Then allowing everything to soften, everything to slow down. The breath slows, the heart rate slows. And the body softens and becomes even more heavy, sinking into the floor. And for the next few minutes, perhaps choosing to really allow yourself to find this stillness and this silence by focusing your attention on maybe a small movement like rubbing the index finger and the thumb together, if that works for you. Or perhaps just focusing on your breath, whatever it is that's going to keep you anchored here in this moment. Or if you need to, just allowing the mind to wander off, to completely just let go of all of the effort. Whatever you choose, this is your practice. Just start to deepen your breath now. Noticing where you wandered off to in your Shavasana, or noticing what kept you anchored to the present moment. If you chose to maybe rub the index finger and the thumb together, or focus on the rhythm of your breath as it moved in and out through the nostrils. Just reflecting. Then once you feel ready, starting to wriggle through the fingers and the toes, bringing some subtle movement back into the body. Just slowly, gently. Then if the legs aren't already out long, lengthen the legs out and reach the arms overhead. Take a big stretch, just like you're waking up in the morning. And letting yourself roll over onto one side when you feel ready, taking your time, there's no rush. And laying on your side for as long as you need to before making your way up to a comfortable seat. Not forcing yourself to rise up out of your practice straight away, but instead taking time to come back into the room. When you feel ready, you can make your way up to that comfortable seat, perhaps crossing the legs, finding the spine nice and long, relaxing the shoulders down, and just closing the eyes down for a few moments to reflect on that practice. Noticing what felt good in the body, what felt challenging, and noticing any changes in the body or in the mind since the beginning of our practice today. Removing any judgment from how you wanted the class to go or how you wanted the postures to feel, and instead just observing. And when you're ready, just taking the palms together at the heart space and bowing the head in gratitude for bringing yourself to this practice today. I hope that you enjoyed this class. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you soon. Namaste.